In Franklin Township, New Jersey, a worried grandmother has reached out to her local police department after her repeated calls to her 18-year-old granddaughter went unanswered. This lack of communication is unusual for their close-knit family, which deepens her concerns. The granddaughter, a focused, confident, and loving teenager, was raised well and has big dreams of becoming a mechanic while also pursuing her passion for music. With a promising future ahead, her sudden disappearance alarms her family and community. Now, a determined grandmother, loved ones, and detectives are all on the hunt to find her. What happens when love becomes fatal? This is the Fatal Attraction Podcast with Alter Ego.
March 16th, 1999. It's Tuesday in Franklin Township, New Jersey, a bedroom community about 40 miles southwest of Manhattan.
The Franklin Township area is basically a suburb of New York City.
We have direct train access to New York, but a quiet town, nothing like the big city at all.
It's a great place to raise your children. You don't have so much of the hustle and the bustle.
There wasn't as much of the crime that you'd find in the city.
But is any place entirely safe? At 9 o'clock that morning, one Franklin resident makes a worried call to the local police.
The caller wanted to file a missing persons report for her granddaughter, 18-year-old Sakira Stokes.
When was the last time you seen your granddaughter, ma'am?
Yesterday afternoon, she left here around 5 o'clock.
She told police that Sakira had told her that she would be home by 10.
But when her grandmother went to bed a little after 11, Sakira still hadn't come home.
Her grandmother thought, well, maybe she's just hanging out a little later than usual.
She's 18 years old, so her grandparents are giving her some leeway. So not coming home by 10 o'clock at night, it's not a big deal.
But when her grandmother awoke in the next morning and realized that Shakira was not there, that really gave her a reason to be worried.
She wasn't here this morning when I got up, and when I checked, her bed was still made.
The fact that she did not come home and she hadn't called, it was out of character for her.
Sakira would usually contact her grandma to let her know what was going on. She was really concerned.
Sakira's grandmother had attempted to track the teenager down herself, but it wasn't easy.
This was 1999, back when most people did not have cell phones.
They started reaching out to people that they thought that she might have been with.
Mostly, they were just leaving messages on people's answering machines.
Unable to shake the feeling that something terrible had happened, Sakira's grandmother decided to call the police.
Her family was very upset by this point.
They couldn't find her. She essentially disappeared.
Where could she be?
Sakira Stokes grew up in a loving home with her grandparents.
It's a special relationship. She had a close relationship with them. It's not like it's your mom and dad, but it's Pop or Yaya. They had little tidbits of wisdom you would never get from anyone else.
They raised her and instilled great values in her.
A confident young woman, Sakira never cared what others thought.
Sakira was mature. She was already focused, knew what she wanted.
She had a very, very forthcoming personality.
And from a young age, she knew what she wanted to be.
Hey, you want to go work on the car?
Yes, absolutely.
Right,
come on.
let's go.
She wanted to be a mechanic.
Her grandfather was a really good mechanic. And even from a young age, she was by his side, learning how to fix things.
She was good with her hands.
After graduating high school in 1998, she'd set out to achieve her goal.
She found a job at a local auto shop, and she was planning on going to technical school.
But cars weren't her only passion. Whether working on a vehicle or riding in one, Sakira almost always had the stereo going.
She found music as this kind of outlet.
For a lot of young people, Music is a way of self-expression, especially when you're riding in your car. You put down your windows, you blast your music.
So even with the love that she had for fixing things, she developed a love for music.
Music is in the fiber of the community, so there were always little clubs that you could go to.
And after one show, Sakira met a man who could change her life forever. 21-year-old Dane Ellis.
Dane was a rapper that was up and coming.
His stage name was Drama.
She fell in love with the way he performed.
You killed it up there.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely.
She had seen Drama on stage, but she said in her mind, I'm going to get him. He saw the spark in her eye.
He was very, charming, handsome.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Soon the young couple was officially an item.
Shakira's 18 years old, so this is love-struck, young love. Everything is good.
She even introduced him to her grandparents.
This is Dane.
Dane comes from a loving family. He worked with his dad and his family's business. He was very mannerable, very likable.
They accepted the fact that he was a few years older than her, and they say let's give this guy a chance because he seems to come from a good foundation.
Sakira provided Dane with the same sort of foundation.
This young woman becomes his, number one cheerleader.
She wanted the best for him. She wanted him to take his rapping to another level.
She's helped him find his way, helped him find his voice.
And toward the end of 1998, Sakira helped Dane take the next big step.
She took Dane down to Virginia to meet some of her family members who were also involved in music.
He went in the studio, he did his thing, he came out with a contract.
He was able to score a record deal.
From that point on, it appeared that Drama was on the road to stardom.
She thought, he's going to make it big and I'm going to be right beside him. We're going to do this together.
Instead, just months after Dane signed his record deal, Sakira has disappeared.
Her family realized that she did not return home from going out the evening before, which was very alarming.
Sakira usually will contact her grandma or let her grandma know what's going on.
But now, after failed attempts to find her on their own, Sakira's grandparents have contacted the police.
I don't know where she could be.
Police take the report, but also try to reassure Sakira's worried grandmother.
Do you think she went into the city?
You could actually board the train, and within 30 to 40 minutes, you're in Manhattan.
Sakira's grandmother doesn't think so.
She said Sakira really didn't go into the city very much, and when she did, she always made sure to say something beforehand.
She had proven to be relatively responsible, and so there was no reason to think that she would lie about her plans.
But could there be another explanation for her disappearance?
Is there a boyfriend? Somebody she stayed overnight with?
She is seeing someone.
Sakira's grandmother was not entirely sure that this was still the case.
The relationship was not as solid as it had been.
She was talking about breaking up with Dane.
Hey, Dane. We need to talk.
Stay tuned as detectives get closer to uncovering hidden truths. You won't want to miss what's ahead. This is the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
This episode brought to you by Predator Badlands. On November 7th, the biggest, wildest adventure of the year. Predator Badlands comes to theaters everywhere, including 3D and IMAX. Predator Badlands comes from Dan Trachtenberg, director of the recent beloved Predator films Prey and Predator Killer of Killers. In this film, the Predator is banished to a planet where everything is trying to kill him. See what it takes for a Predator to earn its title, the deadliest hunter in the universe. Sounds like this is gonna be one of them ones. Predator Badlands, in theaters everywhere, November 7th, in 3D and IMAX.
Tickets on sale now. Hey, what's up? This is Alfreda's with the Urban One Podcast Network. Let me introduce you to today's sponsor, Chamberlain University. There's a pattern among successful people in any industry. They surround themselves with the right support. And in healthcare, that support starts at Chamberlain University. For over 130 years, Chamberlain has been helping nurses and healthcare professionals fulfill their calling. It's the largest nursing school in the country, offering flexible learning, real mentorship, and a network of over 160,000 professionals. Because progress isn't just about working harder. It's about having the right people in your corner. You got this, and Chamberlain has got you. Get started at chamberlain.edu.Chamberlain University. Belong to something greater. Certified to operate by Chev.
With the loving support of his girlfriend, Sakira Stokes, aspiring rapper Dane Ellis was on the verge of greatness.
She saw something in him. She felt as though he was gifted. He's getting ready to drop his first album, and she was right there by his side.
But now, Sakira's family is desperate to find her.
Sakira did not come home the night before, and no one had heard from her since.
It wasn't like her for her to just disappear and not, say anything.
After reporting her missing, police asked Sakira's grandparents to come down to the station to meet with detectives.
It's very crucial that everybody hits the ground in the beginning and try to document everything that they can.
Detectives are especially interested in something Sakira's grandmother mentioned in her phone call.
She said that her granddaughter was thinking about breaking up with her boyfriend, Dane.
And your granddaughter told you this?
Not exactly. I heard it from her friend Felicia.
Her grandmother says Felicia was who Sakira had gone to see when she left the previous afternoon.
And you sure she went to Felicia's?
Yes, Felicia was the first person I called this morning when Sakira didn't come home.
Felicia told her that Sakira had specifically come over to talk about her troubles with Dane.
Did Felicia tell you why Sakira wanted to break up with him?
She didn't get into details.
Hoping Sakira's friend can tell them more, detectives immediately ask her to come in for an interview.
Felicia did confirm to the detectives that Sakira came to her house that afternoon.
So, what'd you guys talk about?
Mostly Dane.
They had a discussion about how she was feeling and that things just was not panning out with Dane.
Felicia tells detectives that things between Sakira and Dane had changed after he signed his record deal.
Even though she and Dane started off with this very, very loving relationship, she really felt as though Dane was kind of putting her on the back burner.
She said he made a couple trips down to Virginia alone. Said they needed him to cut some new vocals.
There were trips into New York City, supposedly to meet with producers and other industry people.
According to Felicia, Sakira didn't have a problem with that.
Being the type of person that she was, she did not mind being very supportive of her mate.
But it turned out that Dane wasn't spending all that time on his career.
What she found out is that he had somebody in different area codes.
When she was supporting Dane and was there for him, he was dealing with multiple women, and that really hurt her.
Felicia says that when Sakira confronted Dane about his infidelity, he shrugged the whole thing off.
The only explanation he has is, this is a part of the life. This is who I am. This is what you signed up for. You knew I was a rapper.
He even said, do you think you're the only person that came to see me after I was on stage? Get a life. There was plenty of women after me.
He was feeling like he can have his cake and eat it too, and that wasn't what Sakira wanted.
According to Felicia, Sakira hadn't broken things off immediately.
She was a bit conflicted about what she should do.
But Felicia says that Sakira had eventually decided that Dane's new lifestyle just wasn't for her.
She began to realize the Dane she fell in love with was transitioning into drama. Not just drama for a name, but drama in life. And she just didn't want to deal with it anymore.
She was like, I'm not going to be one of these other chicks.
She made a conscious decision that I'm not going to be involved in that whole type of situation.
Sakira told Felicia that she was ready to break things off with Dane.
According to Felicia, Sakira had decided to do it that night, face to face.
She felt as though she owed it to him to go and meet with him in person to finally break everything off.
When she left your house, she went to see Dane?
That's what she said.
Thank you for your time.
After hearing Felicia's story, detectives asked Dane Ellis to come in for an interview.
When Dane Ellis is brought in for questioning, he says, Felicia's right, she did stop by.
He says that Sakira picked him up at his parents' house, and they drove to a nearby shopping center.
According to Dane, he had smoked marijuana and was hanging out in the car.
So is that all you did?
Well, no.
Dane, we need to talk.
Yeah, we probably should.
He did admit that they were breaking up, and the way he came across is like it wasn't a big deal.
Things were changing for him. He was getting ready to go on the road with his new album.
Dane felt like he was about to be on top of the world, and he didn't want to be weighed down by anyone.
So you're what, just okay with it?
To be honest, I was relieved.
He said he actually was going to break up with her.
It was like, ooh, good, that weight is off of me, because now I don't have to do it, she did it.
He said that they parted on such good terms that Sakira had even driven him home.
What time did she drop you off?
About 9:30.
Anybody else see you come home?
My parents.
Although according to Dane, he wasn't home for long.
He says that after she left, I called his other honey.
According to Dane, he didn't just call her.
What he says is, I spent the night with her.
The saga deepens with a web of deceit. Stay with us as the chilling story unfolds.
This episode brought to you by Predator Badlands. On November 7th, the biggest, wildest adventure of the year. Predator Badlands comes to theaters everywhere, including 3D and IMAX. Predator Badlands comes from Dan Trachtenberg, director of the recent beloved Predator films Prey and Predator Killer of Killers. In this film, the Predator is banished to a planet where everything is trying to kill him. See what it takes for a Predator to earn its title, the deadliest hunter in the universe. Sounds like this gonna be one of them ones. Predator Badlands, in theaters everywhere, November 7th, in 3D and IMAX.
Tickets on sale now.
Hey, what's up? This is Alfreda's with the Urban One Podcast Network. Let me introduce you to today's sponsor, Chamberlain University. There's a pattern among successful people in any industry. They surround themselves with the right support. And in healthcare, that support starts at Chamberlain University. For over 130 years, Chamberlain has been helping nurses and healthcare professionals fulfill their calling. It's the largest nursing school in the country, offering flexible learning, real mentorship, and a network of over 160,000 professionals. Because progress isn't just about working harder. It's about having the right people in your corner. You got this, and Chamberlain has got you. Get started at chamberlain.edu.Chamberlain University. Belong to something greater. Certified to operate by Chev.
Sakira Stokes' ex-boyfriend, Dane Ellis, has just told detectives he had nothing to do with the 18-year-old's disappearance.
He told detectives that he wasn't upset about their recent breakup. In fact, Dane said that he'd been planning to end the relationship as well.
He says it was no big deal. I'm about to go on tour and my life's about to change and I don't need to be weighed down to anybody.
In fact, Dane says he was so unbothered that he spent the rest of the night with another woman, 22-year-old Aubrey McQueen.
Aubrey was one of the women that Dane had been hooking up with behind Sakira's back.
He said that he called her to come pick him up, and they went to the motel together.
Why a motel?
Are you serious?
He said, well, he lived at home with his parents. He couldn't take girls there, so he would often have hookups at the hotel.
When detectives follow up with Dane's parents, the first part of his story appears to check out.
The parents did confirm that Dane came home that night at around 9:30.
He comes home, he tells his parents, yeah, Sakira just dropped me off, but I'm gonna run back out.
Dane left out again around 10 p.m. and they didn't see him again until the next day, which coincides with what Dane had told the detectives.
Detectives also contact Aubrey, the woman Dane says he'd spent the night with at a motel in the nearby town of North Brunswick.
She confirmed that she picked Dane up from his parents' home around 10 o'clock, and they went and checked into the hotel.
When detectives ask her if he seemed upset or angry, she says no.
They asked, did he talk about his breakup? And she said, we didn't do a lot of talking.
It was mostly like a physical interaction. They spent the night, having sex.
Hotel staff also confirm that Dane and Aubrey stayed the night.
The front desk at the hotel confirmed that Dane had checked in a little after 10 p.m. and that he checked out the next day.
Dane had a pretty solid alibi. Everyone saw him at the motel. He was physically there with Aubrey. He checked in at the time he said, and he checked out.
It looks as though Dane is telling the truth about what happened, and that, as he said, the breakup really didn't bother him.
But in that case, where is Sakira?
She didn't have a cell phone, so there really wasn't any way to track her.
They put out a bolo on her car, but at this point, they didn't have much else to go on.
Detectives are really working with what they had.
And they don't have any evidence that anything has actually happened to Sakira.
We've heard nothing. We've seen nothing.
She just broke up with her boyfriend. Maybe she needed some time alone.
As for Sakira's family, they're certain something terrible has happened to her.
Her family could not understand why she had not reached out to anyone.
Sakira hadn't shown up at work either.
So they knew at this point something had to be wrong.
And so you panic about the only thing that makes sense.
They wonder if someone abducted her. That's very possible. She's a young 18-year-old girl.
It's a very emotional time. You want to have this hope that you'll find her, but the reality is the family was scared, afraid of the possible reality that she may have been gone.
By Wednesday morning, 36 hours after Sakira went missing, the family launches their own search effort.
I didn't hear any updated information, so they take matters into their own hands.
But getting the word out about Sakira's disappearance is a difficult task.
This is back at the end of the 90s. We didn't have social media where we could just make a post and it would go viral.
Without social media, the outreach is in supermarkets, the outreach is at the clinic, the outreach is the pastor giving the mother 5 minutes at church to talk to the people and pass stuff out.
They're really on the ground trying to do everything to find Sakira.
Homicide.
And as more people become aware that Sakira is missing, one of her friends calls in with a possible lead.
She was having beef with another girl named Lola.
Lola was another one of Dane's side chicks.
Dane had many women in his life, but Lola felt like she was really his number one girl.
Yo, Dane's mine, you understand that?
And she felt that Sakira was standing in her way.
I promise you this will be the only time I'm warning you.
Stay with us for more of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
According to a friend of Sakira Stokes, the missing teen had a contentious relationship over her boyfriend, Dane Ellis, with a woman named Lola Barrett.
Lola was another of Dane's side chicks, although she didn't see herself that way.
She was very possessive, and she felt like Dane belonged to her.
Which, according to Sakira's friend, had led to friction between Lola and Sakira.
She told the detectives how Lola felt in her mind that she was Dane's woman and that Sakira was an intruder.
And so for Lola, Sakira starts to be this nemesis, the one, unlike these other side chicks, was getting favor with my man. You too close.
And according to Sakira's friend, Lola felt so threatened by Sakira that she'd made her claim to Dane crystal clear.
Lola actually went and confronted Sakira face to face.
She was really kind of off the chain, as they say in the street.
Yo, Dane's mine. You understand that? What?
She had no problem telling her, stay away from my man.
Your man. Yes, my man. So
How she presented was as if she would do anything and stop anyone from getting in her way.
This young woman is like, I'm getting rid of all the competition. I'm all the way in.
The question for detectives is, how far would Lola go to get rid of her competition?
It really appeared that there was a rivalry between these two women and that Lola was the aggressor. And Sakira's now missing.
When detectives bring Lola in for questioning, she doesn't deny having words with Sakira.
Yeah, so?
Well, she's missing.
Okay, well, I don't know nothing about that, so.
She kind of dismissed the whole thing. Well, I don't know anything about her disappearing. I don't really care. You know, that type of attitude.
She said, I don't pay her any mind. She doesn't concern me.
It's a claim detectives find hard to swallow.
If you don't pay this girl no mind, why'd you threaten her?
That was before I found out what Dane was really up to.
Lola basically says, you know, Dane dates everyone. Sakira wasn't as important. She was just another one of us.
Oftentimes when men are dating multiple women, it causes a lot of confusion. The man can be very manipulative and telling one woman something and another woman something else, and tension could fly.
The dude cheats and the two women fight. He's sitting there going, look, women are fighting over me.
So you had nothing to do with Sakira's disappearance?
Over Dane, he isn't worth it.
The way Lola told it, Sakira wasn't the only one who was beginning to realize how much she had been played by Dane.
He was dating multiple women. He was lying to multiple women. And essentially every woman that Dane was with believed that they were his main woman, when in fact they weren't.
Still, they do ask Lola where she was on the evening Sakira disappeared.
She reports that she was in Newark, New Jersey visiting her family, which is about an hour away.
You're free to go.
When the detectives followed up, her alibi checked out.
Lola was actually in Newark the day Sakira went missing.
She was actually telling the truth.
With that, 72 hours after Sakira's disappearance, the trail goes cold.
There's no more leads on where Sakira may be.
No one had come forward with more information, and they had run out of potential suspects.
And solving a crime in 1999 was a lot harder than it is today.
Back in 1999, there was really no technology out there to even find people. There was no cameras on light poles and tracking devices seeing where cars were located.
There was no, let's check her Facebook, let's check her Instagram, let's see what the last thing she posted on TikTok. And they can't do anything with nothing.
Weeks turn into months with no new progress.
Her family is still holding on to hope, still trying to find Sakira. But the reality is, detectives have to move on.
Because of manpower and time, they could not continue on a case where they were not getting any more leads and no new developments were coming along. They didn't totally give up on it, but they just kind of had to put it to the side.
Maybe simply she just didn't want to be found.
There was still no proof of any crime.
Until on May 16th, 2 months after Sakira's disappearance, there's a surprising new development.
Sakira's cousin is visiting a friend in an apartment complex a few towns over.
He just happened to see a car that reminded him of Sakira's car.
He called their grandmother to ask what Sakira's license plate number was.
It's like maybe this will lead to where she is.
It is? Okay.
You won't want to miss what's ahead. This is the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
This episode brought to you by Predator Badlands. On November 7th, the biggest, wildest adventure of the year. Predator Badlands comes to theaters everywhere, including 3D and IMAX. Predator Badlands comes from Dan Trachtenberg, director of the recent beloved Predator films Prey and Predator, Killer of Killers. In this film, the Predator is banished to a planet where everything is trying to kill him. See what it takes for a Predator to earn its title, the deadliest hunter in the universe. Sounds like this is gonna be one of them ones. Predator Badlands, in theaters everywhere, November 7th, in 3D and IMAX.
Hey, what's up? This is Alfreda's with the Urban One Podcast Network. Let me introduce you to today's sponsor, Chamberlain University. There's a pattern among successful people in any industry. They surround themselves with the right support. And in healthcare, that support starts at Chamberlain University. For over 130 years, Chamberlain has been helping nurses and healthcare professionals fulfill their calling. It's the largest nursing school in the country, offering flexible learning, real mentorship, and a network of over 160,000 professionals. Because progress isn't just about working harder. It's about having the right people in your corner. You got this, and Chamberlain has got you. Get started at chamberlain.edu.Chamberlain University. Belong to something greater. Certified to operate by Chev.
2 months after Sakira Stokes disappeared, a relative has made a possible breakthrough in finding the missing teen.
A family member spotted what he thought was Sakira's car parked right outside an apartment complex in a nearby town.
He quickly called her grandmother and asked for the plate number.
The plates match. It was Sakira's car.
It's like maybe this will lead to where she is.
When detectives respond, that turns out to be true. Just not in the way the family hoped.
When they open the trunk, they find the body of a female that was barely decomposed.
While too badly decomposed for immediate identification, detectives assume that the body is Sakira's.
She went missing in March and it is now May. We have to consider that Sakira's body has been in this trunk for possibly 2 months.
With the weather changing to springtime, the heat had begun to really decompose her body.
But one thing is clear.
Her underwear and her pants are gone.
Now they're wondering, was there sexual assault?
Was she abducted off the street?
As for how Sakira's car ended up there, detectives have little to go on.
There were no surveillance cameras at the complex to give any clues as to what might have happened.
A canvass of the neighbors also fails to turn up any useful information.
Different residents say that they remember seeing the car for several weeks, but they're not sure exactly when it came. There was nothing suspicious about it, so they didn't think anything.
When you're in a large apartment complex like that, you got a lot of cars. Some people don't use their car all the time. They might be taking mass transit to get to work, and they might just use their car on the weekend. So it wasn't like it stuck out.
When detectives receive the results of the autopsy, they confirm that the body is Sakira's.
The only way they could identify her is through dental records.
The family is just torn between relief that they found her, but devastation that she's no longer with them.
The unknown, oh my God, where is she? What could be happening to her is gone. Immediately replaced by the, oh my God, what happened to her?
The autopsy does provide some answers.
Sakira died from one single gunshot wound to the head.
Despite her missing clothing, there were no signs of sexual assault.
Detectives begin to think that there perhaps was someone trying to mask the appearance of what has actually happened by making it seem she was assaulted and robbed.
If take her pants off, then it's gonna look like somebody did something sexual.
But who was trying to throw detectives off their trail? As news of Sakira's murder spreads, a young woman comes forward with information that could break the case.
She came forward because this case was all over the news. She said, listen, I had a brief relationship with Dane.
I used to go out with Dane before he met Sakira.
The woman's name is Monique Davies.
According to Monique, he was very abusive to her mentally and physically. He would beat her.
But Monique says that isn't the most important thing she has to tell them about Dane.
Dane, at one point, had actually put a gun to her head.
When I saw that her body had been found and that she had been shot, I knew I had to say something.
Could the same thing have happened to Sakira?
The fact that Dane previously threatened her with a gun, this causes the detectives to say maybe they need to take another look at Dane.
Dane was not a street guy. He didn't have any prior history of being involved with weapons. But we're getting a statement from a young lady that he, in fact, has had a gun in his possession. He, in fact, has threatened me with the gun.
But does that mean Dane killed Sakira?
We don't know if there was any abuse that was shown before this between the two of them.
However, it had been established that Dane had a pattern of violent and abusive behavior towards women.
The detectives also knew that Sakira wanted to break up with Dane.
Statistics tell us that that is the most dangerous time for someone in a domestic violence relationship.
And while Dane's alibi for the night of the murder mostly checked out, there was one potential hole in his story.
Dane only told his parents that Sakira dropped him off that night.
Dane's parents said that they did not see her that night.
There's a possibility that he may have done this.
When detectives ask Dane to come in for a second interview, he readily agrees.
Thank you for meeting with us.
Sure. Anything I can do to help.
Dane seems upset by the news that Sakira's been found dead. However, he claims he has little additional information to give them.
Dane continues to stick to his story that he didn't know what happened.
You guys just talked, and then she dropped you off at home?
Yeah.
Dane was adamant that what he told them was correct.
Detectives don't buy it.
I'm gonna tell you what I think happened. I think you got mad she was breaking up with you, and you shot.
No way.
Yeah? Are you sure about that, Dane?
The detectives said, well, you put a gun to Monique. How do we know you didn't put a gun to Sakira's head?
Monique?
Yeah, Dane. We know all about that.
Dane looked in disbelief. How did they know about Monique?
Just like that, Dane's story changed.
No. You guys got it all wrong. That's not what happened.
He said Sakira was shot by accident.
Stay with us as the chilling story unfolds.
"21-year-old rapper Dane Ellis has just admitted to Franklin Township detectives that he shot and killed his ex-girlfriend, Sakira Stokes. But he claims it was an accident.
He insisted that the breakup had gone smoothly, just like he told them originally.
We were hanging out. Smoked a little.
Everything was cool.
Yeah. Till I asked for my gun back.
What gun?
He said, I had given her a gun to protect herself when I was going back and forth to Virginia.
She told him that it was in the glove compartment. And when he reached for it, Dane claims that she wanted to see it.
Oh, wait, can I see it first?
No, what for?
I just want to show you something.
He said, no, this is nothing to play with.
He said she grabbed for it and he pulled back.
They got into a tussle over the gun and that it accidentally went off.
Oh my God.
Dane says that once he realized Sakira was dead, he panicked.
He didn't think that anyone would believe that it was an accident. So he put Sakira's body in the trunk of the car.
Then he walked home, called Aubrey, and spent the night with her.
He said he went back the next day and took the car to that apartment complex and left it there.
Detectives have serious doubts about Dane's story.
If that was the case and it was an accident, why did you meet up with that woman at the hotel and have sex that night? Why did you not communicate with her grandma about what happened? Why did you pretend like everything was okay and that you didn't know where she was? Even after, detectives were looking for her and the family was searching for her.
To detectives, the reason is clear. This was no accident.
What he did was calculated.
She was stuffed in a trunk. And Dane went and slept with another woman and showed no remorse for just seeing someone he cared about die right in front of him.
He not only tried to cover his tracks, he went out and celebrated.
At the end of the interview, detectives placed Dane under arrest for murder. And when his trial begins on January 25th, 2001, Dane's story about the supposedly accidental shooting isn't all the prosecutors have against him.
2 other young females came forward and said that Dane had also pointed a gun at their foreheads.
That was in addition to Monique Davies, the woman who first came forward.
According to the prosecution, they were the lucky ones.
Prosecutors believe that when Sakira broke up with Dane, he was enraged at the fact that this young woman would break up with him.
He's the man now. I got a record deal. I'm going on the road. I got women dropping at my feet. What are you talking about? You don't want to be with me anymore. He felt like he was disrespectful.
His ego got the best of him.
Who do you think you are, Kira? Who do you think you are? Who do you think?
I don't think she would have thought that anything like this was going to happen.
He was a good, clean-cut young man. But once he became involved heavily into the music scene, he transitioned into this persona of being this hardcore rapper, Drama.
Sometimes people try to take on that persona and it consumes them.
When it's the defense's turn, they argue that Dane is still the clean-cut young man that Sakira first knew.
Defense continued to argue that Dane did not murder Sakira.
The defense really wants to stick to the story that Sakira possibly reached for the gun went off, and she was accidentally shot.
But will the jury believe it?
The jury, after hearing all of the evidence, found Dane guilty.
Dane was sentenced to life plus 5 years.
But he'll be eligible for parole in 2033, after serving only 32 of those years.
I hope that Sakira's family is able to find peace, and the fact that Dane has been brought to justice will be enough for them to be able to sleep at night and to know that, the truth has come out.
It's a truth Sakira's family hopes will serve as a warning to others.
It's very important to pay attention to red flags in relationships.
You feel as though you're in a situation that you can't get out. Talk to a family member, talk to a friend, tell someone that you're really close to and they can do what they need to do to get you out of the situation.
The biggest thing is safety and using all of your resources, including the authorities. Restraining orders, moving if possible, blocking phone numbers, restricting contact, keeping as much distance from this person as possible to create a safe space between the abuser and the one that's being abused.
Because the alternative could mean losing everything.
Her whole life was snatched from right in front of her.
She had a bright future ahead of her. She had a lot to look forward to.
Sakira was a beautiful woman who was young and aspiring, and I believe that if she did have the opportunity to live, that she would be doing amazing things.
The end of a relationship can be incredibly challenging, especially when trust is shattered. It's even more heart-wrenching when we experience the loss of someone dear, like Sakira Stokes. The tragic loss of Sakira serves as a poignant reminder of the fertility of life. Sakira was remarkable, and her bright spirit touched all who knew her. While her loved ones grieve her absence, they will celebrate her life and the joy she brought to their lives and carry her memory forward in their hearts. Coming up on the next episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
He had a personality that was larger than life.
He was definitely the center of the party. Anywhere, everywhere we went, everyone loved him.
And he made a name for himself as one of the city's hottest drag queens.
He was really able to find a community where he could really live in his truth. He loved putting on a show. He became an icon.
But now, he's become the victim of a vicious attack.
In San Antonio, Texas, an unsettling fear arises when a vibrant work friend goes silent, leaving calls and text messages unanswered. Known for lighting up a room, his absence causes worry to spread among his friends, prompting them to take immediate action. Tune in to the next episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast. We will see you in the next episode.